When you click Evaluation Assessments, you will reach the Manage Quizzes page. From here, you can create a new quiz, edit quiz categories, or use the More Actions menu to change settings, quiz order, and availability. This is also where you can delete a quiz. If you delete a quiz, it cannot be recovered immediately. You must contact ATS and we will have to reach out to D2L to restore the content, which can take up to 5 days. At the top of the page, you will see the options for the question library, statistics, and lockdown browser. We will address each of these later in the video. To create a new quiz, click on New Quiz. You must give your quiz a name. You can add it to a category, for example, weekly quizzes or major tests, and add a description to the content item. If you want to include directions or information on the quiz itself, turn on the page header and include your instructions here. There are a few other options here, but we're going to focus on Add Edit Questions. When you create a new quiz, you have two options, Add or Import. The Add button will bring up menus for New Question, Section, and Question Pool. The Question Pool requires the question library to be in use, so we'll look at that in a minute. Adding a section allows you to create sections in your quizzes. For example, if you want to break the questions down by type or content. Adding a new question will bring up the list of question types. Most of these are self-explanatory. We'll look at multiple choice. You'll enter the question text in the top box and the possible answers in the boxes below. Click the radio button to the left of the correct answer to mark it as correct. The feedback boxes under each answer allow you to add automated feedback depending on the student's choices. You can also add overall feedback at the bottom. You may add additional answer choices or randomize the order of the answers, then assign points to the question. Click Save when you're done. In the top right, the Options menu will allow you to add hints, descriptions, custom weights, and enumeration. So if you want the question choices to be marked with numbers or A, B, C, D, choose the last one. You can customize enumeration at the bottom. Adding a short description will let you add specific notes for this one question. You can upload a CSV file if you have an existing quiz you want to import. Some textbooks include CSV files of quizzes. There is a CSV template linked in the Upload a File window that you can download and use to enter quiz information in the correct format. Be sure to address all fields in that template before uploading. You can also browse the question library if you've added questions to it. The question library is a helpful tool for creating quizzes that you can customize and randomize in many ways, and a convenient way to store your quiz questions. You can view the question library from the main assessments page. Here, we can see several folders that contain questions on several different categories. Again, you can import questions from a CSV file that adheres to the template. You can also add questions here the same way you created them in the quiz, by clicking New and selecting the question type. Adding a section will create a new folder. If you create a question from this main page rather than inside a folder, it will not be categorized. You can also access the question library from the Edit Quiz menu. You can select all questions in the library, all questions in a section, questions from multiple sections, or individual questions. Use the drop-down menus on the left to expand the sections. After selecting your questions, click Import. If you want to include randomized questions from the library, you can create a question pool. Clicking Add Question Pool will bring up this menu. After choosing the questions from the library you want to include, you can select the number of questions that will appear on the test. These will be randomly selected. So if you choose 5 of 12, every student will get 5 random questions selected from these 12. Click Save to add the pool to your quiz. From the Edit Quiz page, click on the Assessment tab. Checking the box marked Auto-Publish Attempt Results immediately upon completion will let students see their results as soon as they complete the quiz for any questions that can be auto-graded. This depends on how you have the submission view set up. We'll come back to that. To connect the quiz to the gradebook, select the grade item from the drop-down menu or add a new grade item. The scores from the quiz will populate in the gradebook once published. You can select Automatically Update Evaluations in Gradebook when published to make that happen automatically, or you can manually publish from the grade page. The Submission Views tab lets you control what information students see and when. By default, they will not see any details about their quiz performance. You can click on Default View to change that. You can change it so that students can see the questions, as well as different levels of detail about the correct answers and their responses. The default view takes effect immediately after the quiz is submitted. If you want to add another view, such as restricting the results after a certain amount of time, click Add Additional View. You can set the start date for that view and change what's visible under View Details. If you have short answer, written response, or other questions that have to be manually graded, you will need to do so from the Manage Quizzes page. Click the drop-down arrow next to the quiz you want to grade and select Grade. Each student who has submitted an attempt will have Attempt 1 under their name. Click on Attempt 1 and it will open the quiz summary, where you can grade open-ended questions or change the auto-graded scores. Click Publish to save your feedback and publish to the gradebook if applicable.